Alright, the stuff we started with, running through all those mode shapes and everything, seemed like you understood that pretty well as far as like how to play it. So you were already using the same fingers going up and down, which is exactly what you want to do when you're playing these things. So just, again, take your time learning one at a time. So stick with the C Ionian until you have that memorized. Then work on the D Dorian. Then make sure you can play both. Then add E Phrygian. Make sure you can do all three of those without looking at the page. And then make sure you can do both E Lydians, E Phrygian open position, as well as the octopire, and then keep adding until you have them all. And then work on just going from one to the next over and over again. We talked a lot about modes. I'll kind of briefly go over everything. So, well, actually, I'll send you a couple of videos I already have made that talk about modes, and that will kind of go over what we talked about here. So, I guess the biggest things to remember are it doesn't matter which mode shape or scale shape you use. You're always in the same key. So we're in the key of C right now. The key of C is that because you're playing a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, those 7 notes. So you can play any of those notes anywhere that you want on the fretboard. You're in the key of C. And like you mentioned, or you asked, like, can you take that F Lydian shape and start it anywhere? Absolutely. All of these shapes are universal, or as far as like you can move them all. So yeah, once you play in the key of C, you just start on a C. You want to play in the key of A, you start on an A. Because your guitar is tuned down a half step, you'll have to take that into account if you're playing against any backing tracks. So if you look up backing tracks for the key of B, as in boy, that will work well, because technically you are in the key of B because of the way your guitar is tuned. But usually we don't take that into consideration when it comes to naming chords and whatnot, because, well, things get rather confusing at that point. And usually if you look at professional tablature, it'll say, or even the notation up above, it'll have it like standard notation, as if it were tuned standard, but it'll have something that says like music sounds 3 steps below note as notated, or something like that, or half step below what's notated. But anyway, so we introduced a new chord for you, the B diminished. So the first way we're doing it, starting on the A string, I should say. We got your first finger on the 2nd fret, and then we got middle finger on the 3rd fret, pinky on the 4th fret, ring finger on the 3rd. So we got 2, 3, 4, 3. The other way, starting on the low E, which we will work with, first finger on the B note there, 7th fret, and then we have ring finger on 8, pinky on 9, middle finger on 7. So we do not want to bar it like this, because too much of a risk of hitting that B string, which produces a note that is not in key or in that chord. Alright, so the chord progression we're doing is just taking all your basic triad chords, your major and minor, as well as the diminished chords, so you can get used to this new shape and hear how it fits with the other chords. So, chord progression sounds something like this. So each chord done 4 times. We got A minor, B diminished, C major, B diminished, D minor, B diminished, E minor, B diminished, F major, B diminished, G major, B diminished, resolve with the A minor. Alright. Yeah, check out the videos I'll send. If you have any questions, write them down, or just let me know, and we'll definitely go over them when you come back in. and we'll get to more hands-on stuff with applying like scales and solos and whatnot. And if you want, we can also take a look at some songs you've been playing, and we can talk about like the theory behind it, you know, what they're doing, why they're doing it, kind of thing. Usually why they're doing it, because it just sounds good to them. But yeah, so you think about that too. Like if you have any songs of your own that you're working on that you'd like to have some theory understanding behind that, we can do that too. Yeah. Well, I think that about covers it. I know we went over a lot of mode stuff, so hopefully these other videos kind of recap on that too. But yeah, let me know if you got any questions, and we'll see you next time.